Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jorge Lee, and I am the Chief Instructor and Director of Operations of ATA Legacy Martial Arts in Hillsborough, New Jersey. Now, I imagine many of you are looking at me thinking what most people think when they first meet me in uniform. And it's okay. It's natural to make assumptions about an individual based on what they do. Now, for martial artists, first there's the assumption of our physical abilities. A martial artist is expected to be fit, strong, agile, tough. But more important and more specific to martial artists is the expectation of character and conduct. A martial artist is expected to be focused, disciplined, confident. Martial artists are expected to treat others with respect. We are expected to be honorable and noble. But you don't have to be a martial artist to be courteous towards others. You don't have to be a black belt to be a good, honorable person. What if all youth sports programs emphasize character and conduct like the martial arts? Imagine if all of our children were more focused and disciplined, more respectful of each other and their teachers and parents. Imagine if more of us, more of our coworkers and our neighbors, treated each other with more courtesy and respect. Our core values and our character are shaped in our youth, and children learn by playing. I believe that we can transform the collective attitude of our communities by changing the way we look at youth sports. I believe that if we change the way our children play and practice sports, and if we change the way we coach our children, we can help make our children better individuals, better friends, better students, and eventually grow to be better coworkers, colleagues, and neighbors, even better parents and spouses. I'd like to share with you a few of the ways that we use the martial arts to help our students develop individual character attributes by changing the way we think about the physical activities that we do as practice. We can have a significant impact on overall behavior and conduct. We'll begin with focus. We define focus as being able to control what you're looking at, listening to, and thinking about. Students develop focus in the martial arts by looking straight ahead when standing at attention, or when practicing any of their moves in the air by looking in the direction of their technique. Now, when students practice those techniques on targets, the instructors will praise the individuals that keep their eyes on the target without getting distracted by the student next to them, or by their parents watching along, or even by the instructors that are looking right at them. Over time, students develop the ability to watch and listen more attentively. They can understand directions more clearly, and they can concentrate on tasks better. Another one of the attributes that we emphasize in the martial arts is discipline. And we define discipline as being able to control your body and your conduct. Now, we teach this concept on the very first day when we teach our students how to stand at attention. Our feet go together and our hands to our sides. And even though we're not doing any moves, we're still practicing discipline by controlling our body. We have a saying that goes, if you want to be good at the hard stuff, you have to be good at the easy stuff, which means that if you want to have a really cool kick or a really strong punch, first, you have to be able to stand at attention without moving, just for a couple of seconds. This simple exercise helps our students develop self-control and impulse control, one of the most important aspects of behavior. Besides focus and discipline, another one of the elements that we emphasize in the martial arts is respect. And respect is defined as the ability, as a feeling that we have for somebody special or important. Now, we remind our students all the time that the most important people in our lives are our parents and our family. And the number one way of showing respect is by doing things right away when our parents ask us. This is why, whenever an instructor gives a command, we praise the student that answers up immediately and follows directions right away. We don't say yes, sir, or yes, ma'am, because the instructors are important. We do this so that our students get into the habit of doing things right away. So when our parents ask us to do things at home and our teachers ask us to do things in school, we're in the habit of doing it right away. Now, a lot of you may be wondering, why should other youth sports programs care about character and conduct? You know, we put our kids in baseball and football because we want to see them grow up and be professional athletes and play in the Super Bowl or in the, whatever the baseball one is. But let's take a minute to think about the likelihood of children who participate in youth sports programs making it onto a professional level league. Now, these are the most up-to-date statistics from the NCAA on high school athletes making it beyond high school, past college, and being drafted onto a professional team in a major league. Now, at best, the chances are about 1 in 200. But for most sports, the chances are more like 1 in 1,000, 2,000, or over 3,000 players make it onto a professional league. Let's have a little fun. You guys want to have a little fun? Okay, this will be quick. We're going to do a survey of the audience, okay? Out of all of the adults in the audience, if any of you participated in a youth sports program, whether it's at the elementary, middle school level, high school, or even college, please give yourselves a round of applause. Very good, right? And that's most of us. Now, out of those of us that participated in youth sports at some age, how many of us ever made it to the professional level? Please give yourselves a hand. Really? Oh, and who did you play for, sir?
From Europe, I used to be a wrestler.
European wrestler. All right, let's give that gentleman a hand. Very good, right? All right, so it's very uncommon, right? Which is fine. But now let's take a minute and think about the chances that instead of our children growing up to be professional athletes, they may grow up and own a small business or be a manager or a supervisor for a corporation where they'll be in charge of other workers, or that they may have to collaborate with colleagues on a project. The chances of that happening are much higher, okay? And as far as personal relationships go, the chances that our children will someday grow up and be somebody's best friend or somebody's neighbor, or that they'll be somebody's spouse, or maybe have children of their own, and that they'll be somebody's parent, those chances are much higher. So now, if the chances of our children growing up and becoming professional athletes is so low, and in comparison, the chances that they'll join the workforce in some other professional capacity or have personal relationships or a family of their own is so high, then it only makes sense that we use the opportunity presented to us by the popularity of youth sports programs to emphasize character and conduct and positive social skills. So let's talk a little bit about teamwork. When we coach team sports, we have an opportunity to help our students develop not only individual character attributes, but positive social skills as well. Group social dynamics, or teamwork, not only wins games and championships, but can also help us collaborate and communicate with groups in all sorts of social settings. The following examples are ways that we use the martial arts to help our students develop their social identity. And through these examples, we can help them relate to their friends in school, maybe their teammates in other team sports. We can even influence the way our students relate to their siblings or other family members, and the way that they see themselves as a member of their community. Now, the first example we can use in any team sport, right? We can use it exactly the way I'm going to do it now, okay? I call it very simply the uniform ceremony. Now, when a new student begins training in the martial arts, for the first few weeks, they'll participate in their regular street clothes, either shorts or sweatpants and a t-shirt. And now, all of the instructors do our very best to make everybody feel welcome and comfortable. But when everybody's dressed exactly alike, except for you, you can't exactly feel like you fit in just yet. Now, we tell all of our students that this trial period is a tryout, and that when mom and dad see that they're listening to directions and doing their best, and when the instructors feel like they're ready, then they will have earned their uniform. Now, when a student finally receives their uniform, we call them up in front of the class, and we make the following announcement. We actually have a volunteer from the audience. All right, Joseph, come on up. Everybody give Joseph a big round of applause. All right, Joseph. All right. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, today we are presenting Joseph with his official uniform. All right, now, Joseph, a uniform serves two main purposes. Number one, it identifies us as a member of a team, right? Like a professional sports team, it allows us to identify who's on our side. The second purpose of the uniform is it represents responsibility or duty, okay? Everyone that wears a uniform has a job to do. Police and soldiers wear uniforms, and they're expected to protect us. Doctors wear uniforms, and we expect them to heal us when we're hurt or sick. When I present you this uniform, I am welcoming you to our group, our family, our team, and I promise to do everything I can to help make you the best black belt you can be. When you accept this uniform, and every time you put it on, you're accepting the responsibility of working your hardest in class, focusing on your teachers in school, and listening to your parents at home.
I accept.
Congratulations. Welcome to the team. Shake hands. All right. Good job, buddy. You can go ahead and have a seat. Now, how do you think your children would feel, or how would you feel if all of your kids' sports coaches presented them a uniform and spoke to your children like this? How would you feel if you were a child and your coaches spoke to you and presented you uniforms like this? Do you think it would change the way that you view yourself as a member of that team? Would it change the way that you view your teammates, your fellow teammates? I think it would. Another example of how we use the martial arts to help our students develop a social identity associated with the roles of supporting each other and their teammates comes in an exercise we call the Team Board Breaking Challenge. Now, board breaking is an activity that isn't associated with any other sport besides the martial arts, but we have had soccer teams and baseball teams and other sports teams come to our academy for seminars and perform this activity with great success. Now, when a martial artist practices a board break, they require tremendous focus, a great technique, accuracy, and power, all right? Hey, do you guys want to see some board breaking? Yeah, I know you do. All right, we're going to have a quick little demonstration. Black belts, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's see how fast these girls can do this. Ready? Let me get out of your way. Your time begins now. All right, let's cheer them on. Come on out. All right, way to go. Ready, tail. Pinye. ATA. Face here.
Sir.
Break. Thank you, sir. All right, go ahead, girls. Let's give them a big round of applause. All right, nice job. All right, very good. Pretty impressive, right? But now, the most important part of what you just saw isn't necessarily the power of the person breaking the board. The most important part of that exercise is the way that we hold the board for our partners, right? What we may not notice and what we may not automatically think about is how much effort we exert when we're holding that board. What we challenge our students to do is think about how much effort, again, they're exerting when they're holding that board, and how much value they're placing on the success of their teammates. What we then do is we challenge our students to think about the ways that their family members and peers outside of the martial arts help support them in their success in life, and how they can be a better member of somebody else's support system. Now, in Rockefeller Center in New York City, there is a bronze plaque inscribed with a speech titled, "I Believe." It was written by John Rockefeller in 1941. This speech it's a good length, right? So I encourage everyone to look it up on your own. But I would like to share, I would like to share with you a few of my favorite lines. This speech has been a great source of inspiration and motivation for me in my career. And again, I'd like to share with you a few of my favorite lines. I believe in the ultimate worth of the individual and in his right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I believe that every right implies a responsibility, every opportunity an obligation, every possession a duty. I believe in the sacredness of a promise, that a man's word should be as good as his bond, that character, not wealth or power or position, is of supreme worth. If any of us coach youth sports or work with children in any way, we have an opportunity to mold the character of the next generation of leaders. You don't need permission or authorization. You don't have to be a martial arts master to be a positive influence on the character of others. You simply need to realize the opportunity, accept the obligation and the responsibility, and take action. We all want to see our children become better individuals. And I encourage every one of you to go out there and do your very best to help mold the next generation of leaders and help mold character and conduct. Thank you very much.